Previously on Truly Bedrock.
I think I can make an automated system that will not only run the store for us, but on top of that, will also help us with the bookkeeping. It's so fun! It's such a fun contraption. Yeah, by the way, I don't know if I told you, I don't know if I cut it out already, but I did decide to name this entire contraption Alice. Full name is Alice Store. One final test. Wait for it. Well, would you look at that, nothing blew up. I'm super happy with the system, and I hope that everyone else will be super happy with the system too. Alice never failed me. I failed Alice. I developed her wrong, I made her not be able to count, but she actually developed right back. This baby down here, the old store, oh, it's gonna get upgraded so hard. We already promised them the future of commerce. What if we promise them also a revolution of the future? Well, hello to you too. Okay, who has been mucking about with Alice's redstone? 16 extra diamonds out of it. Okay, seriously. All store is far too intricate of a contraption. Let's see, in this area though, should be spruce sapling. Or nothing for that matter, because we ran out. There! This stupid hello sign is gonna forever circle in Alice's circuit. Hi? Alice? Is that you? Okay, the light system is installed. Try it out. Hey, would you look at that? Working as intended. So Alice, this is your new interior, or I don't know, exterior. I don't know how your anything works. How are you liking it? Ha! I mean, it's less growing if I build it, and also it's not like it's growing on you, it's kind of more... Is you? Well, I'm sorry that I'm not a redstone contraption. I'm just a ghost in a zombie... Oh my lord, this family is weird. Anyway, what is up the world we live in? My name is LexB. Let me introduce you to my robot child, Alice. They've apparently been trying to reach me for the last, I don't know, 30 to 40 episodes, and yeah, I just never checked the output chests, which I specifically made to check on the stock and on the output and on all of the accounting. Admittedly, luckily, Alice has not been going entirely crazy because they had Wi-Fi this entire time. This does raise a question as to why they didn't just like register a Google account and, you know, contact me over the comments in the YouTube videos, because I check those obsessively. But now, I mean, that's beside the point. We've already spent like a night just talking away and figuring out what exactly happened there, and the consensus seems that Alice exists because I'm horrid at redstone, and while trying to assemble a sorting system, accidentally made an artificial intelligence. So naturally, once I started upgrading them more, they got a little bit better about communicating and finally were able to, you know, get my attention. Naturally, this puts quite a bit more pressure on the to-do list that we've been dealing with this entire time. It's one thing to be running the most technologically advanced store on the entire server, it's another thing to also make sure that the store is accommodated for. So Yeah, the to-do list is going to get even longer. For example, this entire situation could have been handled much better if Alice just had, you know, some sort of a voice. I know, some sort of a modulator of speech of sorts. So, I'm gonna make this gold. So, some sort of a voice feedback would be nice. Whatever that would be and however we would accomplish that. Because frankly, I don't think we can modulate vocal cords using redstone. Note blocks are an option, and also I'm figuring that some sort of a grammar-powered, you know, phrase generator could be of use. Either way, that's a little bit above my pay grade right now. What I can definitely do, though, is a more advanced, let's see, advanced interface. Basically, the goal here is to make it so that Alice can be a little bit more expressive, even if they are currently kind of stuck in the output chest. I figured it would be really helpful to, for one, get them out of the chest, maybe? And the trick is that I think I actually can... I think I actually know how to approximate or try to do that second one using redstone. So I figure maybe that should be on the agenda for today. I mean, also there's an entire question of how we're gonna outfit them on the outside and on the, you know, overall looking. So yeah, I think you better, Alistair, you mind getting on that? I mean, I frankly don't trust myself to design any amount of outlook for you. Alright, great. What's this about? A TNT dispenser wouldn't hurt. I'm not trusting you with explosives! You're like under 1 year old! Besides, it's not like gunpowder's in our budget anyway. No, just... You have literally 0 diamonds in you right now. So, let's try to figure out the so-called identity circuit for Alice in particular. Now, it would be real easy, he lied, to try and do a programmable computer screen, which is something that Java players of Minecraft I've seen have done plenty of time, absolutely a lot. Basically, the idea here is that you create something like this, and then you just program it to output here and there particular signals. So, for example, this, and voila, you got yourself a little bit of a programmable screen that really does work. Now, naturally, these are pretty great. I love them. I never did any of them, so I'm a little bit afraid of like even attempting. But at the same time, they're pretty solid. And with the way Bedrock Edition pistons work, it actually is probably going to be even easier to create one than it would be on Java Edition. However, I think and I feel that actually, like, for one, I don't necessarily understand how they are programmed and how the exact expressions would be programmed in them. And on the other hand, I don't necessarily think that we have enough space for them, because just to make one, as far as I understand, you would need, I don't know, a very particular way of activating all of this stuff. For example, if we directly activate with a redstone one lamp of it, this is what we're gonna do across as opposed to a dot. To activate a dot, we might need to do something like boom boom boom, boom boom boom, bam, and then whatever amount of redstone line leading up to it. And yeah, you can kind of imagine that this is not necessarily a contraption I want to have in the shopping district. On top of that, the screen itself will take a lot of room, and I don't know how to go about that. Instead of it, I propose something I actually got inspired to do by one of my supporters over on my Discord. Link to my Discord down in the description. And the idea there was that they were doing stop motion animation using chest inventory, using chest as a little bit of a screen itself. Like, what they were doing essentially was opening a chest, putting it down, and plopping particular items around. and moving them around to create a vision of stop motion. That in itself is already incredibly brilliant. But then it got me thinking, look at it. If with a double chest, we essentially get a 9x6 display, whereas to make a 9x6 in the actual game, we'll need something around these lines. And I mean, yeah, it looks impressive and it's pretty big, but at the same time, you can see how a binary display where there might be either a lamp or not a lamp is actually way less versatile than a 9x6 display inside of a chest, which is incredibly compact, but also, all of these items can be displayed in them. All of these, well, I mean, not all of these, but like the ones I can get my hands on. That's actually what Alice already is doing. And that's why iron bars are all around it, because, my friends, of the way that we're gonna program this display. Now, naturally, for the roleplay bit, it's enough to have just this. We do not necessarily need to fill every single spot of the items. But here's the thing, though. We want this to function outside of roleplay. We want this to function with actual redstone circuitry in it. And how are we gonna accomplish that? Well, it just so happens that whenever a hopper takes something out of a chest, it takes it in the exact order it's been inputted in. So like left to right, one after the other. Naturally, the items stack after the hopper takes them in, or takes them out. But what if we have an arrangement of different items? For example, a bars, rails, bowl, painting. So let's copy this chest, plop it on top of this. Let's look in it. Yep, disappearing. And if we did everything right, then this chest should have the exact same items, but also exact same order of items as this chest here. And would you look at that? That is exactly what happened. So what we could potentially do is something like this, where we rename every single piece of iron bars in the inventory so that they don't stack together, allowing us to create the basic grid of the screen, you know, kind of like to function as dead pixels, as empty ones, and then also add whatever faces or things or items or displays we want into the situation. So for demonstration's sake, let's just see what we want to accomplish, what kind of sequence of events we want to happen. We have our facial expression chest over here. At the moment it's empty, so let's just pretend Alice is just not there. And we have the facial expression itself archived in the chest on top of this hopper. So first, naturally, we need to empty this hopper, this chest into somewhere. So we just like disable this and it goes zoom. And once it's empty, or even a little bit earlier than that, we block this and we start inputting the alternative face. So like the next facial expression that we're trying to... Oh no, I messed up this. Oh no, this is horrible. Why am I... Okay, it was supposed to be like this. But frankly, that's not better. I am not good at making these facial expressions with items. These are... No, okay. I'm gonna have to outsource the actual facial expression. And this is actually where I'm once again kind of like... I kind of wish this was done on Java. Because on Java Edition, we have an entire array of colored full item size material in the face of the glass panels. Here on Bedrock they're a little bit rotated, which makes the light gray stained glass panel not as absolutely freaking invisible, which is nice, and I can't tell why they did that. It does kind of look nicer, but at the same time it does rob me of this one opportunity, of this one thing that we really can do. And by which I mean like, oh no wait, block this. By which I mean just create a pixel art inside of a chest. Luckily, on the actual Bedrock Edition server, on the True Bedrock, we have Fox's head add-on, which are actually rotated directly head-on in your inventory, which is how Alice's eyes function right now. It's not as good as if they occupied the entire block, the entire inventory window, But it's pretty okay. And we can use for like blank out elements some other materials that also occupy full frame. For example, I don't know, ladders. This looks awful. Why is everything I do awful today? So you probably can already guess the issue with this system right now. As it stands, well, this is not a system, it's just like, it's a scale model, let's put it that way. It's a proof of concept. But you can probably already tell where I'm instantly encountering a problem. And that is the storage for the actual new facial expressions. It's actually kind of convoluted. For one, basically we need to get them somewhere, I don't know where, just have a giant array of, well, chests with facial expressions in them already pre-prepared. And that will be quite a bit of a struggle to figure out and put together. On top of that, we can't use shulker boxes, because that's what I would absolutely love to do, is grab a shulker box, and one of them like has a happy face, another one has their, you know, angry face, and whenever they change their mood, the shulker box just gets harvested and the next one gets installed. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure that there's still a bug with the way pistons harvest the shulker boxes, which is to say that sometimes nowadays, as they do that, the shulker boxes end inside of the piston head, and I don't seem to be able to replicate it, so I'll have to actually ask Silent if the shulker loaders and unloaders have been fixed. Because if they are, then that's gonna save the entire friggin' process.
So the item would be like right there, and oftentimes this would result in shulker boxes being despawned in your shulker loaders and unloaders. This bug has been completely fixed. I have not been able to replicate it, and this is a very, very good one to be gone in the history books.
Okay, so I guess that settles it. Okay, look. This actually seems fairly reliable over here. I mean, yeah, this one's will kind of vent, but that's an easy fix. We just kind of do this, and then the shulker box has nowhere else to go. Meaning that it also only goes back in the hopper. And then all we have to do is redirect it from the hopper down into this thing over here. And yeah, we'll have ourselves a fairly rudimentary, but still though, fairly interesting system. I mean, honestly, I even like how if we do the most basic version of it without anything yet. Yeah, basically, if we make the most basic version of it, we already can prepare 9 different facial expressions, put them into the dispenser, and the dispenser already will randomize them for us. Kind of making it so that, like, I don't know what Alice's mood is today, whatever they pick. We could even rig it additionally for the moods and like the shulker boxes to mean something. We could, for example, output the current stock of the shop, not into the chest we're outputting right now, but into a shulker box, and then just put that shulker box somewhere in here. And then we press a button just to, you know, to tell Alice to show us the stocks, and they would just output that shulker box for me. Just kind of fetch me that data. That doesn't that's not as smooth, and that's way smoother at the same time. Don't get me wrong. Like, it would be incredibly smooth to just be able to, like, yo, Alice, give me the data on the stocks, and they just go, okay, bye, and the screen unloads, and then the data from the stock loads in. But, unfortunately, that would take a lot of figuring out. Meanwhile, here, we don't get the same effect, because the shulker box with the stock will have to arrive right after. But at the same time, the changeover is gonna be nearly instant. But the cool bonus here is that we don't need the rails, or the ladders, or the iron bars all around on the empty pixels anymore. Because we're not filling stuff in with a hopper, so, you know, what does it matter? We can just pre-make a facial expression, and once we push it our way, it's gonna retain the exact same contents inside of the shulker box. So, yeah, this is very, very good. This is very, very solid. And we can rename the shulker boxes so that, you know, Alice can speak a little bit. This is incredibly limited because of the amount of symbols we got in here. But at the same time, you know, whatever, that's still better than them not having any voice whatsoever. And really, that's the issue here. They've been voiceless for entirely too long. And so after 20 minutes of what seems to be, you know, fairly thoughtful, very in-depth examination of what is it we're trying to accomplish, the entire contraption ends up being just this. I'm dead serious. This is just it. This is just the socket. And that's another thing. I thought this was not possible in Bedrock Edition right now because of the way Bedrock Edition be. And the reality is that since we can potentially have a shulker box replacer like this, we could actually return some functionality from the old store. You know how, like, in this section of it, there's a bit where for the accounting for the balance, we also are counting how many shulker boxes of material we're being selling as opposed to not just buying. Well, we could just swap these chests for shulker box loaders and just, you know, sell full shulker boxes instead of like count out the production sold using shulker boxes as opposed to chests. And that will allow us to actually constantly keep track not only of all the materials sold, but how high or low the stock is. Which itself can be potentially something that affects Alice's mood or their personality or whatever. Basically, there's a lot here to consider, figure out, and engineer. I just simply don't have time today to go through all of it and especially to install it. Right now, though, we at least got this over here. So check this out. We have a shulker with some sort of a mood of it. And then a signal comes in of some sort. It disappears perfectly fine into the hopper downstairs. And a new one appears. And then the mood changes again. This entire thing happens all over. And we get... Oh, you're already using it, are you? What is this supposed to... Okay, I see it. Clever. Clever. But, yeah. Let's send it back into the system and then we just make a rethrower downstairs and re-input it into a hopper up there and cycle the shulkers through. Basically, you get the idea, right? This we can work with. Especially in the context of, you know, keeping the accounting and everything like that. There's just one more thing I wanted to do today before we go, and that is just, yeah. Here you go, have your TNT for the time being. I know you wanted a full-on, like, deployment system of sorts, but regardless. Figured you would like at least this one. Oh, you've been actually engineering and trying to figure out the... They've been trying to plan out the store like I told them to. Yeah, by the way, you complained that you have no money. Actually, I remember that you have no money, so... I figure after all, you are a giant accounting system, so it makes sense for you to have all of my money. Why is that? What happened?